Good evening. Welcome to the State of Business on our television with me, Tirantha Gunawardana. Let's take a look at today's headlines first. President Sirisena appoints three-member committee to look into Easter Sunday bombings. And National Security Council convenes under President's patronage. And now news in detail. President Maithripala Sirisena has appointed a special investigative committee of three members to look into the bombings which occurred around the country on Easter Sunday. The committee, led by Supreme Court Judge Vijith Malalgoda, comprised of former Inspector General of Police N.K. Lanka and former Ministry Secretary Padmasri Jayamanna. The Special Investigative Committee will investigate the causes and background of yesterday's catastrophic events. The committee will study other reasons that have paved the way for these incidents as well and is scheduled to submit its report to the President within 2 weeks. President Maithripala Sirisena presided over an emergency meeting of the National Security Council today where several key decisions were taken. One of those decisions is to gazette the anti-terrorism legal clauses to be effective with effect from midnight today. This step has been taken to empower police to be able to effectively take measures to safeguard security of the people and the country. Furthermore, April 23 has been declared a national day of mourning. The issues pertaining to the organizations responsible for the attacks yesterday, the arrest of suspects and those who assisted them, and steps needed to eliminate such destructive forces were discussed at the meeting, and the President instructed the police and tri-forces to take every possible action in the future. The President has instructed the security forces to provide additional security to all Catholic churches. He also instructed the police, tri-forces and the Defence Ministry to take current developments into serious consideration and take all required steps. Meanwhile, police curfew has been imposed from 8 p.m. today till 4 a.m. tomorrow. The Colombo Stock Exchange, in consultation with the Securities Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka, announced that the CSE will not be open for trading today. Issuing a statement, the CSE stated that the Colombo Stock Exchange will resume trading and related market operations from Tuesday, 23rd of April 2019. The pre-open session on 23rd April 2019 will be from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and regular trading will commence at 10:30 a.m. The SEC and the CSE, having considered the unique circumstances of the tragic events that took place across the country on Sunday and the curfew which has been imposed, places primary emphasis on the safety and security of its people and market participants and the constraints imposed on their mobility. It's time for us to go in for a short commercial break. Do stay tuned for more news after this. Welcome back. According to the External Sector Performance Report for February 2019 released by the Economic Research Department of the Central Bank, the trade deficit continued its improving trend observed in recent months, further narrowing to $451 million in February 2019. This significant reduction in the trade deficit was due to the notable decline in import expenditure, dropping 27.6%, and an increase in export earnings of 7.2%. Earnings from tourism continued its robust performance, registering over 240,000 tourist arrivals per month since December 2018 and recording a growth of 7% year-on-year in February 2019. Workers' remittances in February 2019 declined a further 12.4% to $500 million. Positive developments were observed in the financial account with net inflows of foreign investments to the government securities market in February 2019, although some net outflows were observed from the Colombo Stock Exchange. The country's gross official reserves stood at $6 billion, which was equivalent to 3.4 months of imports at the end of February 2019. Subsequently, along with the proceeds of the ISBS, gross official reserves are estimated to have increased to $7.6 billion by end March 2019. Recording its lowest figure since October 2013, the deficit in the trade account narrowed noticeably in February 2019 in comparison to the corresponding period in the previous year due to increased export earnings and the significant reduction in import expenditure. Terms of trade, which represent the relative price of imports in terms of exports, improved by 2.9% to 119.7 index points in February 2019 due to the slower decline of export prices in comparison to the decline of import prices. In more developments, according to the External Sector Performance Report for February 2019 released by the Economic Research Department of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka's exports increased by 7.2% to $981 million in February 2019, driven largely by an improved performance in industrial exports and marginal improvement in agricultural exports. Under industrial exports, earnings from textiles and garment exports increased in February 2019 due to higher demand for garment exports from the EU and the USA, as well as non-traditional markets such as India, Japan, China and Canada. Further, export earnings from food, beverages and tobacco increased during the month owing to the improved performance in all subcategories except cereal preparations. Export earnings from base metals and articles, gems, diamonds and jewelry, rubber products, wood and paper products, animal fodder and machinery and mechanical appliances also contributed towards the increase in industrial exports in February 2019. Earnings from agricultural exports increased marginally on a year-on-year basis in February 2019, mainly due to the increased performances in spices, seafood and coconut exports. Export earnings from spices rose during the month with high export volumes of cloves and cinnamon. Further, export earnings from seafood continued to increase significantly on a year-on-year basis in February 2019, owing to higher demand from the EU market. The Met Department says that possibility for afternoon thunder showers is still high over the island and requests the general public to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning. Showers or thunder showers will occur over most parts of the island after 2 p.m. Heavy falls of about 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamu's central, southern, Uva, western and northwestern provinces. Showers may occur in the western and southern coastal areas in the mornings too. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the sea areas of the coast extending from Puttalam to Batiklo via Gaul and Hambantota, particularly in the evening or night. Winds will be westerly to southwesterly in the sea area extending from Kankasanture to Hambantota via Colombo, and winds will be southeasterly or variable in direction in the other sea areas around the island. Wind speed will be 15 to 30 km per hour in the sea areas around the island. Temporary strong gusty winds and rough seas can be expected during thunder showers, and naval and fishing communities are requested to be vigilant in this regard. And that's all the news we have for you today. Do join us tomorrow at the same time for more of the very latest. Until then, take care. Good night.